Hi, today is Friday, June 14th, 2013. This is Flag Day, and it's appropriate because if you're like me, over the last couple of weeks, you might feel like you have been rocked by the news and the information that we've been dealing with. The business of the surveillance that we're living under, apparently by choice, the whole question of what's going on with Syria, and all the other problems at least make me feel like we are just spinning in our tracks. Now, one of the things that's interesting about that is that John Kenneth Galbraith, who was an economist and a social commentator, said in the mid of the last century that we are becoming, and by now we are a nation of consumers and not a nation of citizens. Somehow or another, in the rush to consume all the wonderful things that come our way, we have somehow forgotten what it means to be a citizen, to take responsibility for what our country does and what we do within our country. So that when we're hit by all this stuff that involves citizenship and government, and we feel like we can't have any impact on it, part of the responsibility for that is us. By focusing on consuming stuff, and you remember right after 9/11 we were told, everything's okay folks, go on back to bed, just go shopping. But the truth is, we have got to wake up as citizens. Now, the first thing that happens when you start to wake up as a citizen is you discover that there is more than enough stuff out there to be really negative about. It is overwhelming. And being negative only attracts more things to be negative about. That's fine for some people. There are some people that have a valid reason to be negative, and on top of that, they balance out the scale. But that's not for you, and that's not for me. Our job is to be light workers, to carry the light into any situation in which we find ourselves. I saw an article the other day, and it was talking about how some environments are toxic, and they're toxic because only maybe one person just lives in a world of anger or fear or conflict, and they become a carrier. And everybody else in that environment winds up having the same problem as the carrier does. It is also true that you and I, when we focus on the light and we intend to bring light into everything we do, you and I are carriers that can affect and infect any situation we're in and make it better. Now, I don't think that any of us, certainly not me, are going to be able to change the environment that we're in by taking specific actions or protesting this or that, but as citizens alone, just that, we have a responsibility to see to it that we're informed and that we do the very best we can. And part of that means that wherever there is hatred, we sow peace. Wherever there is darkness, we bring light. Wherever there is doubt, we bring hope. And the list goes on, but what I'm trying to say, and you understand what I'm trying to say, is that our job is to not flag or falter on the question of bringing light to every situation. And there's so much going on right now that needs somebody, and that's you and me, to shed light and say to each other and to the world, wait a minute, there is another way of looking at this. There must be, and there is, a better way. And if we start just with that premise, which, by the way, is the initial premise of the Course in Miracles, there must be a better way. If we start there, then we open the door to possibilities that others can't see because they are consumed with negativity. It's up to you and it's up to me. We're the people that we've been waiting for. We're the people who are going to solve the problem, and we're the people who are responsible. So I'd like for you to think about this. This is not a mumbo jumbo thing. This is not pie in the sky. This is reality. We must take control of our role in all of this, and we must do it now, and we must do it consistently. There are plenty of people out there who want to go to war, who want to cause problems, who want to exclude somebody from everything. All that's all set in place. But what isn't in place are the people like you and me who are ready to say, wait a minute, let's see if we can live this thing through in light. Let's see if we can do it together without excluding anybody. Let's see if we can actually find a new way to solve the problems that seem to engulf and devour us. Now, here's something to think about. The problems we have, as Einstein said, cannot be solved at the level at which they were created. And all the people that are reflecting and reacting to the negativity around us are simply stuck on the level where the problems are created. But you and I have the opportunity to look out and say, you know what, there must be a better way. Let's go up a level and let's find the geniuses among us who can understand this and show us the way to make the changes that must be made. This is a really critical time. Things are changing, they will change, but it's not a given that they're going to change automatically or it's going to be for the positive. That remains to be seen. So for this week, beginning today on Flag Day, think a little bit about what it means to be a citizen and not a consumer, to be a light worker rather than a negative carrier, and think about what it would mean if you and I and all of us working together were to discover that there are solutions to all of these problems on a higher, different, better level of consciousness. It's here, it's possible, it's happened before, and it can happen again. If we wake up and stay awake and show other people that by being awake, we make a significant contribution. So that's what I'd like for you to think about. It's what I'm going to be thinking about. And I thank you for listening. We'll see you the next time.